There's something really satisfying about a lever action dart blaster.
Yeah, a huge seller here at Out of Darts is the slab. There's only one problem though, it's a bit dated. It's a kind of an old blaster. It's been out for how long? Like 6 years?
3 years, 4 years? How long has it been? It's been a bit. It's one of his earlier designs, very successful, great blaster, but you know, as far as assembly and how it's put together, his newer stuff is even better.
Yeah, one of the big things being the newer tension designs that we use. It just needs an update.
Fortunately, we've got Mr. Heathpants has been working on the Vulture. He's been hard at work putting together this new lever action blaster, and we're really excited about it. It is a ton of fun to play with, and it's got some nice upgrades.
It actually has more plunger to volume than the Smiley, so this thing can actually hit up closer to like 300 FPS, nice. So it's pretty amazing for a lever action cowboy repeater type blaster. Welcome to the Dart Pulse, your first look into new upcoming products, games, and events.
The show that's your #1 source for everything you need to know in the foam flinging hobby.
I'm DrFlux.
And I'm Luke.
And this is the Dart Pulse.
One of the things I really love about Vulture is that it's got a 9-round internal magazine. There's something about having that onboard built-in capacity.
Yeah, me personally, it's when you're, it's the game types that maybe are limited ammo, where you can't just bring your giant drop pouch with 57 Tachis.
That seems targeted at me.
But when you have to scavenge and go like directly into your blaster, having a tube magazine like that on board is, to me, better.
It's got some premium touches. It's got 2 CNC parts, a really big handle that we're getting done CNC.
Yes.
And it's gonna be anodized black.
Yeah,
it's gonna look really nice. A lot like our long shot tube, so we're excited about that.
Now, for all those that are watching, they're gonna ask, where can I get it? When can I get it? Do you have any information on that?
It's available for pre-order right now, and by the time this video launches, it should be delivering in about 1 to 2 weeks is what we're looking at. Vesper is, of course, available for pre-order. We've also got S400. However, I did hear from Luchathor in the warehouse that we just got our S400 delivery. So probably by the time this video is up, the S400 blasters will actually just be available for purchase.
Yeah, and it's been a pretty solid launch. I haven't had many complaints, and it seems like a good offering. What is it top off at?
It's 320.
Yeah.
Our only real complaint about S400 is that it's hard to get down to like 100 or 150, 130 if you want.
I'm starting to hear that a lot, actually. And then the last pre-order is we actually have a kit from Diamond Dogs on pre-order. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. So we got some new items in the shop, and do you want to talk about some of the cool HPA cores that we got in, Luke?
Yeah, one of the things we don't carry a lot of and we're trying to expand into is HPA, or high pressure air. Spectre teamed up with Sabre to use Sabre's manufacturing capabilities to get these made. The first is a SpeXBZ, which is essentially an air tank. It's just like an XBZ, but metal. We'll be also finding and getting all the accessories and other things you'll need for that. But the real exciting one for me personally is the DMR Core. The DMR Core is a full system. It actually can cycle semi-automatic and has an actual pusher, which integrates with a receiver, and a threaded barrel, which works with all of our threaded barrels.
So this is just a tank that just dumps. It pressurizes and dumps, that's it.
Yeah, so
that
that's
is like a full-on.
But this is a core that you can actually put in and make a semi-automatic blaster. Now, one of the coolest products we have coming, and we'll have some video content on this soon, is that we've got the Airgull Kit. The Airgull Kit takes this DMR core and puts it inside of a Seagull and routes the tube out the bottom, adds a 3-way valve, so you basically can convert your Seagull into an HPA blaster.
Wow.
I will note it's pretty much a 1-way conversion because you do have to cut a little bit of webbing to make this fit inside, but it's a really cool mod.
Sweet.
I'm interested to see where HPA goes. It's not something I've played with a lot, but I do have 20 years or more of paintball experience, so I'm very familiar with tanks and fittings and dealing with all of that. So when you're playing with HPA, you really have the most ideal propulsion source possible because you're starting from air and using air to propel.
Using air to fire it, yeah. I kind of think of it with the whole thing of priming and firing all day, like, because I used to, some of the high powered springs, it'll give you like tennis elbow.
Yeah, seriously.
Like some games I'm like, oh man. Like especially like 300 FPS type games, like, so I could see that being, yes, you're carrying something around, but you're giving your arms a little less workout for the prime.
Definitely.
Can't wait to see what else comes of this, and make sure you're following to see more updates for HPA cores here at Out of Darts. So like we discussed in episode 1 of the Dart Pulse, we want this to be a little bit of an interactive type of video, so we actually have some comments from all of you from last month's episode.
We want to give special credit to NJW2010 for the suggestion of this rapid fire Q&A.
First question from, these names are gonna get me, JMGERR Roddy. In your opinion, Spirit versus Vesper versus SPF. That's, which one wins out?
That's a hard one.
Yeah.
So Spirit is obviously the hobbyist, high-end, kind of crazy thing. I've heard some issues here and there, but I don't have a lot of firsthand experience. I've only just played with it in my hands. SBF and Vesper I've played with a lot more, so I have a little more insight there. I mean, they're really for different audiences.
Yeah.
Vesper comes out of the box ready to fire. You don't need to build it. You don't need to know how to mod it. You don't need to know how to solder. It's pretty simple. Whereas SBF, you've got to generally build unless you're going to purchase it fully assembled. It would be a hard toss-up between the three, I think.
Yeah, I think it's your level of commitment. It's kind of like in the 3D printing community. Like, to me, the Vesper is going to be like bamboo, right? It's comes right out of the box. You can pick it up, play with it, use it. Whereas SPF is like, there's some work involved. Like, you got to print your parts, you got to build it. You don't have to do any coding, you don't have to do any configuration, which is nice. Then the Spirit is like, in the printing community, it'd be like a Voron, which you basically print, configure, build, like everything. You're doing everything. What about you? What would you rather have?
Right now, I'm really liking Vesper. It's compact. It's fuss-free. Obviously, I've still got my Momentum too, which falls in this category, but it's a little bit unobtainium. However, we will have one last batch of 20 units coming at some point. Hopefully. Next question from GGSI7FW. Some elementary schools are holding mother-son Nerf battles. I love that.
That's cool.
Some of the caveats: the school provides full-length darts and safety glasses. That's great. And no motorized blasters.
Sure.
We could do a video about that kind of loadout.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That'd be a cool loadout, yeah.
Yeah.
We've been talking about loadout series too.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely a topic that I don't know if we'll approach it in the Dart Pulse, but definitely just
shorts,
content in general. Yeah, shorts and whatnot. Final question from Eleanor Vandaloo. Any chance you'll be bringing in the new Diamond Dogs bolt action blaster? Well,
yes, indeed.
We have great news for you. This thing has a lot going on here. We're basically selling pre-orders for hardware kits right now.
Correct.
And what that hardware kit will get you is the ability to build this variant, which this is called the Small E. And then there's another variant called I believe it's the Car 98K. It's a little bit of cosmetic differences to look like the old historic World War II looking type of guns, but they're very much like squatty and kind of more cartoonish looking, so it's not really like a real steel one-for-one.
As always, we recommend if you're going to be using these in any public place, print them in bright colors, put orange muzzles on them. Just, keep that in mind, because it does look, it could be mistaken for something else. One note is there is an upgrade. So this is the base version, but we also have a version that has a nice CNC bolt, which is a really premium upgrade.
Similar to our Smiley, we did a similar thing.
Very similar.
Yeah. Real quick on performance, this thing comes with 2 springs. One of those, it goes over 200 FPS. It's crazy. And the prime on this is like real solid. Oh, I have a dart in there. And yeah, it's just great for LARPing, great for cosplay type stuff. And I think it's a great offering for the shop.
Tons of fun. Next up, we've got the X-Shot Injector, which is coming from select
more
Kroger stores.
Love it.
This is one of the most inexpensive blasters we've seen on shelves, and it's really fun. It's a blast to play with. We've already got an upgrade spring for this, and then we wanted to shoot half darts, so I did CAD up 3D printed shells. You can get these on our Printables page, or we do sell them for a pretty reasonable fee in 10 packs on the site. But this allows you to put half dart shells in there.
Do you have to remove the air restrictor? Or
you do not.
Oh, okay.
No,
cool.
As long as it's loaded and has a dart at the rear of the shell itself, you're good to go. Again, not a blaster we sell, but we do have a spring that gets it up to 130.
Very cheap way to go well over 100 FPS. So, and speaking of us designing shells and other things and putting them up on printables and whatnot, we're actually looking to put more and more files online.
For years, we were more of a closed source model where most of our files are not online. One of the reasons, just as the backstory, is we were trying to make money. It was a business, and the business was heavily reliant on the selling of 3D printed parts.
Yeah.
Now that's just one chunk of our business, so it's a little easier to give the files away. The other reason that I've opened up to this now is that printers are so good.
Yes.
I tried to sell some files about 8 years ago, and people had so many issues printing because I had printed and tested them on one printer, and they go to print on their printer and it doesn't work the same, and it was a nightmare. But now printers are so good, so inexpensive, that we know that anybody can print something well as long as they have good film and a good printer.
At least a modern bamboo type, Prusa type printer.
We have a few designs that are already up, and we should be putting new ones up every week, thanks to Perry for all his hard work on getting those going. Perry's also designing a lot of stuff of his own, so you should check out his printables as well, because you'll see a ton of Nerf projects there.
And Luchathor is also designing.
And Luchathor, so we have 3 people here designing designing currently. But we've got the Little Rocket Fold, the Little Rocket Mighty Mama, the X-Shot shells, and the S400 Forward Talon Magwell.
Which you just whipped up.
Yeah. Wrapping up this section, if you do have anything you'd like to see sooner than later, let us know in the comments.
And with some more community involvement, Out of Darts is going in pretty hard on the Merge Masters this year. Merge Masters is a competition where in the hobby people merge blasters together to make beautiful integrations. We have one of which behind us, which is kind of a legendary merge. So this is the glass construct, which was done by Hawkeye 007, which he merged multiple blasters, including a Rapid Strike, a Raven in the back, and then back here is the stock of a, it's a rival blaster, I forgot.
Yeah, it's the Zeus.
It's the Zeus stock.
Yep.
We can go on about this for forever. But the point is, Merge Masters is essentially making beautiful blasters like this.
This is one skill I envy so much. 3D printing has taken all of my patience away because I can make things so quickly.
Yeah.
This is like, it's an art to put these things together. So definitely check out Merge Masters.
Yeah. I'm doing the veteran class, which that's one where you pick up an old project, dust it off and finish it. Luchathor is doing intermediate, I believe. It's like the middle class. And that one is just basically merging a bunch of stuff together. And then Sonic Bob, who also works here, is doing the entry level class where, you know, basically merge, I think, 2 or more blasters together. It's run by Mr. Nathan and Caster. Check out a link in the description.
Looking for a game near you? We have a club map that is on our website. Perry has been updating this diligently. If you have a club or a game or an event near you that's not on there, shoot us an email, orders@outofdarts, and we will get you added to that map. We're hoping to build this out over time and have more resources so that people can find more games and play more.
This year's 2026 Toy Fair has brought us a ton of new products. Big companies like Hasbro and X-Shot and Dart Zone, every one of them has brought some really cool stuff. And we're gonna start with Nerf launching their new Rebel Ops line.
Now, I am really thrilled to see the direction this has taken. Nerf is finally going back to .5 cal darts, meaning regular elite darts. They're just iconic. It's just hard to get away from. Everybody knows them. We have so many blasters that work with them. They've got 3 offerings, and I think they're all home run hits.
One note, if you look at the darts they chose the classic blue dart with the orange tip. Because they know, like, it's iconic. It's like they can't get away from it. Me personally, I'm a huge fan of the Doom Cannon. It's just this ridiculously large shotgun blaster that has a bunch of cylinders on board, and it's kind of like a cylinder shotgun shell.
Yeah.
And so you drop the cylinder in and it can fire 4 shots of 3 darts apiece. So just crazy capacity. I can't wait to get this thing in hands.
Moving on to Dart Zone. Dart Zone has a whole new lineup for Walmart this year in their Adventure Force line. The AF Access Pro is a select fire flywheeler with a cool mag swapping gimmick, which is kind of like the Ultra Select from Nerf. Also a little bit of a sore spot for us because Tarek had been working on a short dart swappable indexable feed system as well. He did this, which is an adapter for this. But then he was working on a whole blaster around the system too, but Dart Zone has clearly been working on it for a long time as well. So it's cool to see. It's a neat gimmick. You'll essentially fire one and you can switch over. And I think it comes with 2 20-round mags. So
wow, so super high capacity.
I'm pretty excited to see that.
Next up is the Adventure Force Delta Pro, which I kind of look at as a pro version of the Blitz. I love the Blitz. Like, these little Dart Zone blasters are cheap, affordable. They're great little blasters to give out as loaners. But I've always wanted like a pro version of this. You know, it's almost like a strong arm.
Next up is the Nexus X2, which appears to be a shrink-flated version of the Nexus. They've taken away, I believe, a magazine and a B-car, and then that got the price down to better compete with the X-Shot long shot. If I had to guess, they are really concerned about Zuru and X-Shot and keeping up with the price.
It is crazy the stuff they're offering at the price point they are. So now we have X-Shot, and X-Shot, wow. Really cool stuff coming out from X-Shot. First one I'm really interested in is the Spin Shot, which is a hammer primed offering that's pretty much like an affordable Dart Zone Outlaw, essentially.
Pretty cool. The Thrasher is also pretty exciting because it's their first flywheel blaster. We obviously saw them do an AEB first, which is interesting, and they of course have some great springers, the Fury X and the X-Shot long shot. So really excited to see what they do with a flywheeler and what price point that comes in at. And we'll be checking out all of these, of course, and comparing them to everything else we've you've got when they arrive.
If you made it this far in the video, I want to thank you for watching. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit that little notification bell so you can see when we make new content.
This is a monthly show where we bring you all the news and updates in our shop. So once again, we're looking at this video as this series monthly as a way to reach out to all of you and connect with you.
Yeah.
If you have questions or comments, feedback, any ideas, please put it down in the comments. We're going to be really active down there. Thank you to Perry for that, to make sure that we're actually incorporating that into future episodes. Thank you so much again. I'm Luke.
I'm Dr. Flux,
and this is the Dart Pulse.